The Grand Canyon is a natural phenomenon that arouses admiration for its impressive beauty, but at the same time, it holds an enigma that deeply intrigues us. This place has a special quality, a feeling of mystery that leads us to question what secrets are hidden behind its imposing walls. A recent study, conducted by a team of experts, delved into the depths of the Grand Canyon, unearthing findings that are destined to reshape our understanding of this iconic landmark and its historical importance. What exactly did they discover, and what are the implications it has for the Grand Canyon narrative? These are questions that will be addressed as we delve into the surprising revelations discovered by scientists during their exploration of this natural wonder. Number 1. For centuries, the Grand Canyon has held sacred significance for various Native American tribes. The Havasupai, who have resided in the region for generations, consider it a portal to heaven or the underworld. For them, heaven represents a state of eternal bliss and perfect harmony with nature, while the underworld is a place of suffering and punishment reserved for the wicked. According to their belief system, the souls of the deceased must pass through the canyon on their journey to their ultimate destination. This place has a dimension that transcends the physical for these tribes. It constitutes a spiritual site where the past and the present intertwine. The geological particularities and spectacular views of the canyon play a fundamental role in their beliefs and traditions, shaping their cultural identity. Number 2. The underground citadel. He soon made an astonishing discovery: steps carved into the rock leading to a man-made entrance. The surprising thing was that the hidden passage was covered in hieroglyphs from ancient Egypt, in the Grand Canyon, of all places. Intrigued, Kincaid entered with his flashlight and realized that the tunnel extended far into the distance, presenting an unprecedented opportunity for discovery. As he progressed through the passage, Kincaid became more and more surprised. He found intricate carvings, artifacts, and treasures from centuries past. It was as if he had gone back in time. He discovered an ancient underground city that had remained hidden for a long time. Fascinated by this discovery, he was determined to unravel all the mysteries of it. Joe Rogan recently talked about this on his podcast. Long before anyone knew about the Grand Canyon, there were people who lived right beneath it. Kincaid had discovered an entire underground city. The main passage was wide, with rooms reaching impressive sizes, but most surprising was the thickness of the walls, a feat of engineering that defied comprehension. He couldn't understand how something like that could have been built. As he continued exploring, Kincaid found barns with shells and seeds, kitchen areas, and a large dining room in the underground city. But the most amazing thing was its design and size. The rooms were enormous, some 30 by 40 feet square, with ceilings converging in the center. And most surprising, the walls were 3 feet 6 inches thick, defying understanding of the era in which it was built. Additionally, Kincaid discovered unusual artifacts, such as copper metal tools, a technology that should not have existed in that area at that time in history. Fascinated by his discovery, Kincaid called it the Citadel and requested financial and logistical support from the Smithsonian. Professor S.A. Jordan arrived with a team of 40 scientists and researchers to assist in the exploration and excavation. It was soon revealed that the underground city had a planned, symmetrical layout, not just a random set of rooms and tunnels. It was a city with a clear purpose. The citadel was inhabited by an advanced civilization that lived there for hundreds, perhaps thousands of years. They were much more sophisticated than the native tribes of the area. Some scientists believe they could have come from Egypt or Asia due to advanced artifacts found in the citadel, which suggested it was a warrior barracks. After their astonishing discovery at the citadel, Kincaid and Professor Jordan sought further support from the Smithsonian Institution to continue their research. However, their request was rejected and, soon after, both disappeared without a trace. The government intervened and banned access to the area, raising suspicions about possible cover-ups. In 1909, the Arizona Gazette published a shocking theory that shook the world of archaeology. According to the article, it was possible that the Egyptians had crossed the Pacific Ocean and made their home in the canyons of the Grand Canyon. The evidence found apparently showed that a mysterious cave that could be in Egypt dated back to the time of Ramses. This theory generated a lot of attention, but soon after it spread, it simply disappeared. It was said that none of this had actually happened and the article was nowhere to be found. Number 3. 313 million years ago, a large reptile left footprints on a dune in the Grand Canyon that were then preserved over time. In 2016, geology professor Adam Kill and his students discovered these surprisingly preserved footprints on the Bright Angel Trail. Kill photographed them and shared them with geologist Steve Rowland. After examining them, Rowland determined that the animal was the size of a modern crocodile, and the tracks suggest that they were left by two creatures probably of the same species with a time interval between them. The discovery of footprints in the Manac Formation of the Grand Canyon revealed crucial information about the evolution of amniotes. Although these animals were thought to require water to live, footprints in a dune suggest that they adapted to land early in their evolution. Furthermore, Ron showed a unique movement pattern and indicated that this behavior evolved much earlier than previously estimated. This find, considered the oldest vertebral footprint in the Grand Canyon, has captured scientific interest for its insights into the evolutionary history of land animals. Number 4. The formation of the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is a natural wonder that took millions of years of erosion and geological activity to form. About 5 million years ago, a lake was created by a natural dam filled with sediment in northern Arizona. When the lake was drained, the Colorado River began to erode the rock, creating the canyon we know today. Erosion, along with wind and water, has shaped this stunning landscape full of canyons, ravines, and other unique features. This process has created a place of exceptional beauty and complexity, demonstrating the power of nature in all its splendor, long before humans were present in the area. Number 5. About 4,000 years ago, prehistoric humans inhabited the Grand Canyon, hunting and living in groups. Evidence of their presence, including figurines of split twigs, has been found in caves in the canyon and near Flagstaff, Arizona. In the 1930s, these ancient artifacts were dated using radiocarbon and are estimated to be over 4,000 years old. The discovery challenged previous ideas about human activity in the canyon, indicating human presence more than 4,000 years ago. It is thought that the figurines could have been part of rituals, and their association with large animal remains in the caves suggests that they represented entrances to the underworld. These figurines demonstrate the artistic skill of ancient humans and can be further appreciated at the Arizona State Museum. Number 6. During the last ice age, the Grand Canyon was a cooler, wetter environment, home to the extinct Sasta's ground sloth. In 1936, specialists such as Mark Ran Harrington and Ard Shank investigated the Grand Canyon's Rampart Cave, known for its ground sloth fossils. Since then, the cave has revealed numerous remains and excrement of the animal. In 1942, Raming and Cog of the Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History led an excavation providing valuable information on the anatomy of the ground sloth. From the finds in the cave, remains of bear-sized ground sloths were shown, indicating their use for millennia. Although it was thought that its extinction was due to climate change, evidence indicates that it was due to human hunting, highlighting the human impact on the environment. The Grand Canyon preserves these remains, remembering when these animals were common. Their herbivorous diet was confirmed by excrement, explaining their characteristics. Number 7. Since the 1950s, uranium has been discovered in the Grand Canyon, causing damage due to mining. Uranium was first found near the southern rim of the canyon at the Orphan Copper Mine. Although certain areas were designated as private property since 1906, uranium was found in other areas of Arizona where rocks collapsed, forming breccia chimneys. After the discovery of uranium, indigenous groups, local governments, and conservationists have fought against mining near the Grand Canyon, arguing damage to the ecosystem and cultural heritage. In 2012, a 20-year ban on mining in certain areas was established. Although there are 600 mining claims near the Grand Canyon, opposition persists, as the indigenous community views the area as their home and fears long-term environmental and cultural impacts. Number 8. In 1927, Walter T. discovered the Grand Canyon caverns while panning for gold near Peach Springs. These large, dry caverns became a prominent attraction in the Grand Canyon. Although he did not find gold, he transformed the cave into a tourist attraction, and many visitors paid to explore and see depictions such as that of a caveman. The history of the Grand Canyon caverns has a tragic twist, as in 1917 and 1918, two brothers died there due to a snowstorm while searching for firewood. They were found in 1935, and in 1962, a new entrance with an elevator was created. Today, these caverns are a popular attraction with amenities such as hotels, campgrounds, and restaurants for Grand Canyon visitors. Number 9. The Grand Canyon is home to several snakes, but only one is venomous: the rattlesnake. Among the varieties present, such as the green Moabi snake and the spotted rattlesnake, the pink rattlesnake stands out, exclusive to this area. Its pinkish hue allows it to camouflage itself in the canyon, avoiding predators and prey. Although they appear docile and rarely attack without provocation, these snakes measure between 16 and 54 inches and have a powerful bite. Scientists have linked the pink rattlesnake to other venomous species such as the western diamondback rattlesnake. It is wise to keep your distance from these snakes in the wild due to their venom. Number 10. A new species of insect was discovered in a cave on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, surprising scientists. This creature, called a pseudoscorpion, resembles a scorpion but with differences such as the lack of a stinger and the loss of its eyes due to its evolution in total darkness. Hudson of Northern Arizona University identified unique specimens between 2005 and 2007, named J.P. Priya and tuberchurns. These pseudoscorpions measure about 0.12 inches and feed on small invertebrates. Surprisingly, they have a unique social behavior. They use their pincers to hitchhike, clinging to other animals to travel long distances and disperse their genes efficiently. Number 11. And now we will travel to Asia, more precisely to the Euphrates River. The rivers that cross our planet are silent witnesses of the history of humanity. One of these iconic rivers, the Euphrates, has been the scene of countless stories over the centuries. Today, we will delve into his fascinating story. In this video, we will discover all the secrets and wonders that the Euphrates River has to offer us. But before we embark on this exciting journey, we invite you to show us your support by liking this video. Let's get started. The Euphrates River is located west of the two great rivers that define Mesopotamia, along with the Tigris River. Together, they make up an immense river system in a region of alluvial salt marshes in the Middle East. The Euphrates River is located in Asia and has a length of approximately 2,800 kilometers, from its source in Turkey to its mouth in Iraq, crossing part of Syria. The river flows in a southeasterly direction until it reaches Iraq, north of Basra, where it joins the Tigris to form the Shat al-Arab River, which eventually empties into the Persian Gulf. Throughout history, it has been known as the Blue Gold and has been a generator of life for thousands of years on its margins. However, there are awarenesses that practically no one remembers today. Since its source in Turkey, the river has seen its flow decrease over the years. Together with the Euphrates River, its main tributary, it has been the place where Arab, Muslim, Christian, Kurdish, Turkmen, and Jewish peoples have developed. The oldest data on civilizations come from this region. The economic life of the Euphrates River basin remains largely dependent on the waters of the rivers. Although oil revenues have also played a dominant role in Iraq, modern water control technology has reduced the devastating effects of the flood and drought cycle. However, this has led to the drying out of the marshes and decreased natural replenishment of soil nutrients. In terms of politics, there is great controversy regarding water use and the potential for conflict in the region. It is always latent, since Turkey is located closer to the headwaters of both waterways, which gives it a clear geographical advantage. The Southeast Anatolia project, which involves the construction of dams and water diversion tunnels, has caused consternation among downstream riparian countries since 1960. As the majority of water in the region originates in Turkey, Ankara believes it alone has the power to determine how the resource is allocated. On the other hand, Iraq argues that it has historical rights to a guaranteed portion of the water in the basin. The asymmetry of power between regional states has led to divergent views that are difficult to reconcile peacefully. Between 1975 and 1991, the three riversides threatened each other militarily on 3 different occasions, and the negotiations over the distribution of water were affected. The conflict has so far been diffused through the efforts of external mediators. In the past, Saudi Arabia and the Soviet Union have intervened and tensions have been reduced before they escalated into conflict. However, there currently appear to be no international or regional powers willing or able to encourage the dependent states of the Tigris and Euphrates basin to resolve transboundary water-related issues. Among the animals we find in the Euphrates River area are wild pigs, very common in the marshes and which have spread to the newly planted eucalyptus plantations in other parts of the floodplain. Also, jackals, otters and mongooses are found along the rivers in southern Iraq. Additionally, a wide variety of Indian jungle cats still live in remote tamarisk thickets. Lions were last sighted along the Tigris in 1926. Foxes, wolves and gazelles are common on the plain, and some of these animals range as far north as Anatolia. Smaller animals include species of gerbils, hares, shrews, bats, hedgehogs, river otters, and Buck's mole rat. The latter covers the entrance to the burrow on the bank with a mound of clay. Locally inhabiting birds include warblers, magpies, crows, owls, and a variety of falcons, eagles, and vultures. In spring and autumn, many migratory birds between Europe and Asia, pelicans, storks, and various types of geese fly along the river courses, and the marshes provide nutrition for some migratory species. Due to pollution, mismanagement, and drought, the river is experiencing a drying process that is leading to its reduction. 6 of the dams built on its waters are contributing to the risk of depleting the river's flow throughout the region. The blame for this situation falls on Iraq, Turkey, and Syria, and at some point the flow is expected to be half of what it is today. This drought has caused great devastation along its waters. Its channels are shallow and the fauna is dying. This, added to an increase in the frequency of droughts, causes its waters to decrease more and more. From the biblical point of view, it is written that the river will dry up and give way to the birth of a new city, as mentioned in the Apocalypse. Some curiosities about the Euphrates River are the following. According to experts, there is a belief that a tunnel was built under the Euphrates River that secretly linked the royal palaces on both sides of the river. The Euphrates River has numerous mentions in both the Jewish and Christian Bibles, as well as in the warnings of the Prophet Muhammad. In ancient times, the river valley was highly irrigated and housed many large cities on its banks. The ruins of some of these communities still remain. The Euphrates marks the northeastern boundary of the land that God promised to Abraham. In Islam, some of the Prophet Muhammad's divinations suggest that the Euphrates will dry up, revealing unknown treasures that will be the cause of conflicts and wars. The Euphrates River, along with the Tigris and the Nile, is one of the main sources of life in the Middle East. Thanks to this river, many civilizations since ancient times have been able to develop by taking advantage of the water that flows through its channel. It is unfortunate that due to mismanagement and droughts, the Euphrates is experiencing a decline. It is stifled by the water policies of Iraq's neighbors, Turkey and Syria, as well as a 2-year drought and years of misuse by Iraq and its farmers. The river is now significantly smaller than it was just a few years ago, and some officials fear it could shrink to half its current size. The brutal drought that has affected the flows of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers for years is allowing some archaeological treasures to emerge to the surface. The basins of these rivers as they pass through Iraq and Syria are areas highly affected by climate change. The dramatic lack of rain has generated a marked and persistent drought in this region of the Middle East. The great decrease in the waters of rivers and reservoirs has allowed the resurgence of several archaeological treasures. Recently, the decrease in the flow of the Euphrates River has revealed several archaeological sites dating back to 11,000 years ago in northern Syria. These sites were under the waters of the Al-Assad Reservoir, built in the early 1970s. Residential and administrative buildings, a metal smelting site, a massive fortification with walls up to 6 meters wide and towers have been found, as well as a monumental multi-story storage building and an industrial complex. Archaeologists worked under pressure to quickly excavate and document at least part of this city before it was submerged again. They were shocked by the good state of preservation of the sun-dried mud brick walls, which were underwater for more than 40 years. This is because the city was destroyed by an earthquake around 1350 BC, during which the upper parts of the walls collapsed and buried the buildings. They also found 5 ceramic vessels containing an archive of more than 100 uniform tablets, which are known as a type of letters made of unfired clay from the Middle Assyrian period. After that earthquake, some are still in their envelopes and in good condition. Researchers hope this discovery will provide information about the end of the city of the Mitanni period and the beginning of Assyrian rule in the region. The Euphrates was and continues to be one of the pillars of many of the peoples of the Middle East. Its waters make the nearby soils fertile and suitable for agriculture, providing food, especially cereals such as wheat and barley, as well as trees such as the fig tree. Fresh water is necessary for drinking, washing, cooking, and other basic activities, as well as being a source of fish. For all these reasons, the river became a route for trade since ancient times. Although its waters are not suitable for the passage of large vessels at present, it is navigable to the city of Hit in Iraq. Definitely, the Euphrates River is one of the most impressive resources of all. What did you think of this video? Subscribe to see more videos like this. See you next time.